holiday had us all over the 4 states. We had to head 13 miles west off 69 Highway in Kansas. West Mineral, the site for Big Brutus, the largest electric shovel still in existence, 160 feet high, weighs 11 million pounds. It's been a museum since 1985 and a regional historic mechanical engineering landmark since 1987. Along the old Route 66 in between Riverton and Baxter Springs, the Rainbow Curve Bridge. Built in 1923, you can still drive across it, 15 minutes southeast from there. There's a gravel road that sits to your left after you make the entrance into Downstream Casino, a couple hundred yards south, and you run into this, the 3-state corner. This spot right here, I'm standing in Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma all at once. Believe me, the experience, amazing. And we're back. And we're in Joplin. Off 34th and South Main, just east of Oak Ridge Drive, sits the apartment where the Barrow Gang stayed for a couple of weeks in April of 1933. Two of its most famous members, Bonnie and Clyde. On April 13th of that year, a shootout took place. The gang escaped, but 2 officers were killed. Joplin Police Detective Harry McGinnis and Shoal Creek Constable J.W. Harriman. Now, there are relics from inside that apartment and plenty of pictures at the Joplin Museum complex.
We have literally people coming to find out anything about Bonnie and Clyde that come to our area for that.
Brad Belk is the executive director. He's been there for almost 30 years. He has a passion for this one.
What's just literally amazing is they're still on the loose. They're on the loose for 2 years. Who could be in the United States of America today on the loose for 2 years killing police officers randomly as this thing goes? It's amazing. It's an amazing story.
And it's one Hollywood has often tackled over the years.
Well, I'm Miss Bonnie Parker, and this here's Mr. Clyde Barrow. We rob banks.
But according to Belk,
if you really just told their freaky story, it doesn't need to be enhanced or glamorized or anything. It's insane.
By the way, the apartment, the only single residence in the city that's on the National Register of Historic Places.
Hello. Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
That's Marlin Perkins. He was born in Carthage in 1905. He died in 1986. 2 years later, this bronze statue was dedicated. It's in the park off 7th and South Garrison. Many of you have seen the praying hands in Webb City. They were sculpted in 1972 by local artist J.E. Jack Dawson. Nick Calcagno designed what many of you have probably seen in Commerce, Oklahoma, the Mickey Mantle statue that stands beyond the center field fence at the high school baseball field. The Commerce Comet, who later played in Joplin and of course with the New York Yankees, graduated from Commerce in 1949. 1929, that's how long the hole-in-the-wall Conoco station has stood. It sits off Route 66 across the street from another popular stop in town. Originally built in 1931 as a marathon station, the Dairy King still provides plenty of good eats on a daily basis. And if you head 6 miles northeast of Commerce, you'll find what's pretty much now a ghost town. But one of the things still standing in Pitcher, the gorilla statue, commemorating Pitcher Cardin's Class A state football championship 30 years ago. Want to see the world's largest fishing pole? You'll find it in Grove. How about the world's largest coal shovel? That's in Rich Hill, Missouri. If you can't meet your maker until you see a 30-foot mushroom on the side of the road, then you'll want to stop about 3 miles north of Nevada on State Road M. And finally, for all of you Little House on the Prairie buffs, you'll find the Ingalls family cabin, a schoolhouse, and post office, along with a museum, in Caney, Kansas. You won't find Olson's Mercantile or Hanson's Mill. It's not Walnut Grove. But if you look hard enough, you may just find the perfect Little House field. It doesn't take long to drive through the town of La Russell. About 45 seconds, really. 30 seconds in, you come across the pump in the middle of the road.
It's very surprising how many people we see through the summertime that stop and they jump out of their vehicle and one gets on the pump or 2 on the pump or near the pump and somebody else is taking a picture, and then they trade places and more pictures.
And that includes prom pictures, senior pictures, silly pictures, even don't mess with me and my pump pictures. Pump doesn't work anymore, but it did for the better part of the last century. It supplied water to not only residents and local farmers, but folks traveling through the area.
I know one year in the 50s we had dry years and people came in back their trailers up there with barrels on it and pumped water into them for their livestock at home.
That's Ben Hart. He's lived in La Russell since 1947. The World War II vet is also a former mayor, fire chief, and president of the school board. Another World War II veteran, Nunny Graff, who passed away this summer, said the pump was his Statue of Liberty when he returned home from the South Pacific. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing for the pump. Being in the middle of the road, it's been hit a time or two. After a crash in 2009, MoDOT said, that's it, we're moving it. And they did, to the side of the road. And that's when residents and folks from across the country, thanks to social media, yep, the pump has its own Facebook page, took action. They called MoDOT a lot, tied up the phone lines for hours.
I put in my call down there, and that poor lady down there said, please tell people not to call. She said, we're putting it right back.
And they did. 2 days later. It is a part of this community in so many more ways than one. Yeah.
It's the center of our universe right here. I mean, you know, people, when the pump was moved, they can't find their way home. You know, where do you turn? The pump's not here. You know, so it's kind of been our moral, well, not really a moral compass, but our compass, and maybe our moral compass too.
And Linda, this is also something that you guys celebrate once a year on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Right. Well, it's kind of Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and Christmas all rolled into one. And you know, for years we joked about putting Christmas lights on it. We decided to finally do it. And so, you know, we passed out sparklers to the grown-ups. Santa comes. We've had a parade for the last 3 years and shoot off fireworks once the lights come on, you know. So it's a big deal. It's a lot of fun for everybody. It's just a lot of grown-ups acting silly.
And they've had a solid turnout the past couple of years, about 150 people last year. The town's population, a little over 100.
You know, I always say there's two kinds of people in the world, people that are from La Russell and people that wish they were from La Russell. So this is their chance to come back and they can be part of us Thanksgiving night.
And don't forget to grab a t-shirt while you're there. You'll find them just south of the pump inside Whitehead Farm Supply. Just make sure you stop and pay homage to the pump.
It's probably one of a kind. I doubt there's another place in the United States that's got a pump in the middle of the street.
It's always been kind of a status symbol for us, about claim to fame, I guess.
It's part of the town. It always has been.
It's been there a long time, and we hope it will be there for a much longer time.